everybody. So before we go into today's part of our training, yesterday I did some brief introduction of where we use some layman language to explain data, Purview, and some other things, so we could get the understanding of what will be taught today. I know yesterday we might have some of us that were not part of the class. I believe you might have few or little um, um, way to comprehend what will be taught today, because I might not use this layman language that was used yesterday, but I will try as much as I can to relate it to what we discussed yesterday, and can also go to the portal just to do one or two basic configuration that can be of help to us for knowledge sake. And I want to assume we all have a test tenant where we can practice these things ourselves, because without a test tenant, then there is no point doing the training. If we don't do hands-on with it, then there's no how you get to know them. Like a friend used to say, you say get your hand dirty. If you are scared of making mistake or getting your hands dirty, then you might not make progress in IT. Mistake is part of learning. So yesterday we talked about data. As I said earlier, most of what we'll be talking about is data, and information. So I did some definition of terms yesterday. So what was our definition of data yesterday? Who still remembers our definition of data? Nobody wants to say anything. We defined data yesterday. I will say some things about it. Hey, can you guys hear me at all? This one everywhere is quiet. Yeah, but I gave my own definition yesterday. Aside from raw facts, raw infos, I gave a definition yesterday. Collection of information, yes, is is a piece of information, and I said they can be in any format, maybe voice notes, photo, in any format. I also talked about the two main formats that we have our data. Who still remembers? Because these are the things we will need today. That's why I'm going back to it so we can get it. Two main formats of the data that we have: structured and unstructured. Thank you. Thank you. So the structured data is just as the name sounds, the one that have that is well arranged, defined, sorted, anyhow you want to put it. And why the unstructured one are ones that are yet to be sorted. And we give example like group chats in Teams. We have pictures, we have messages, we have voice notes, we have videos, we have a lot of things uploaded to the group chat. So we said that can be classified by level of secrecy. Who still remembers data classification? Who still remembers data classification we talked about yesterday? Just use our normal layman English to explain it. No, that, but before we get to classifiers, they, when I was explaining data, I mentioned data classifications. Muhyiddin, I use some words to explain it. I don't want to believe none of us remembered it. Data classification by level of secrecy. Yes, we have public. I think somebody is coming up already. We have general, which is the internal information. We have confidential, then one more. Thank you, Shegun, giving us one, then highly confidential. So we have public, general, confidential, then highly confidential. What else do we talk about? Let's check through. We talk about information protection. We talk about DLP. We talk about information governance and insider risk yesterday. And where we stopped yesterday was at classifiers. So I explained those classifiers one after the other because that's where a lot of people get confused before we stopped yesterday. So we'll continue from there today. So it's still something similar that I spoke yesterday, but now we just want to take it a bit higher to something that is totally different from the normal English that was used yesterday. I'll be as fast as I can. Just know that what I said yesterday was layman English. Today is the real terminologies used. Don't get confused. It's still the same thing. We'll still go to the portal. I'll show you. We'll create some things. And if you have some people that are signing to their portal already, they can share their screen with us. Then we'll just walk through creating some sensitivity, info types, labels, and others. But I still need us to understand it because we must know what we are doing, not just about doing it. You must know why and when to carry out those actions. So on my screen, you see that we have the integrated data protection. So Purview centralized. I mean, so Purview centralized compliance and data protection platform to help organization understand where data is classified, if it's correctly classified, if data is protected, if data are misused, or there's any form of leakage of that data. So, which is one of the main reason why we are having this discussion. So, sensitive data in Nigeria, you can see organization and use BVN. I'm just using Nigeria as case study because we have a lot of Nigerians here. So you can see we have our BVN, we call it bank verification number. We have our NIN, which is our national identification number, payroll, contract requiring protection, and others. So there are a lot of data. They are sensitive. They are very, very, very sensitive. I still pity some of us that saves our BVN, our NIN. We save it on our mobile as a contact. Is actually not a good practice, especially if your phone is not well protected. So for risk reduction and compliance, so Purview helps reduce insider risk, educate user, and to help us comply with data protection regulation. So I'm just trying to do a quick recap using the normal terminology against what we discussed yesterday. So data sharing control. Purview manages data sharing across email, Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive. You can also integrate external app, as I mentioned yesterday, but you get to that level gradually. So common data handling errors. Employee often share sensitive financial data accidentally due to multitasking or pressure at work. Some of us that included it in our CV, we can work under pressure. So when we see real pressure, our brain might start malfunctioning, permit me to use that word, and we might share sensitive data that is not expected to be shared. So Purview will just help you not to not to get sacked. Let me just use it like that. Not to get sacked due to pressure or while you are multitasking. So and risks to share some information to external users. We have big organization, as I said yesterday. There are a lot of email that will be sent to you. You can't screenshot it, you can't forward it, you can't reply to that email. You can't screenshot it, you can't forward it, you can't reply to the email. In the past, we have seen some people dragging their employers on social media due to one email leakage or the other that they have access to. They snap the companies or a screenshot of the email sent to them by HRs and they brought it to social media, which is not a good practice. So unauthorized document syncing. Staff download sensitive data on their personal devices and start syncing them to public cloud. I said yesterday, you are not allowed, as far as you're Nigerian, you are not allowed to save your customers' informations in the cloud. You have to save it manually. There are a lot of users want easy way to get things done. Might quickly want to upload it to one AI or the other to just get the work done for us and move forward. Meanwhile, we don't know we are exposing the organization data to the public. So this is one of the work that Purview does. So Purview detects sensitive content, enforce policy. You can see to one block, alert security team in real time. So, as I said earlier, that we'll be deploying, we'll be doing some configuration, sensitive info type, sensitivity label, and we'll publish them as well. So, however, before we start doing those configuration, we need to understand why we are doing it and reason for them, what they will block, what they work for, and other things. So sensitive info types are the foundation of Purview. So their ability to recognize important data. Remember, when we are talking about our data, when during our summary just now, or when we are doing revision, we said we have classification of data as public, general, confidential, highly confidential. So that's why I said the sensitive info type is the foundation of Purview. You must know how to classify your data, which one is public, which one is general, which one is confidential, which one is highly confidential. But in case of Purview, you might not see it as public, general, as I have used it. You will see the terminology that is being used, but I just used that so we could understand data classification very well. So the first thing you must know how to do is how to define your data. So the system should look for when scanning emails, documents, messages, chats, and others. So we have some built-in type, which is what do we call it? We call it Folcom, right? Default. We have the default one that Microsoft have specified, but we all know that Microsoft is not our indigenous organization. So they do most of their things based to the US and the Europe standard. That's why they gave room for custom creation also. So we can create what will suit our region, our country, our state, organization, depending on our needs and the usefulness of Purview to us. So the first thing you must know how to do, don't forget how to classify your data. So most of the built-in that we have there, they are for credit card number, passport number. So as I said, like our BVN, NIN, staff ID, different company with different pattern of staff ID, different way that customers' information are saved might not be captured in what we have as the default. So we need to create a custom one. So sensitive information type work using pattern. I explained that yesterday. They work using pattern, matching keywords, and maybe some contextual evidence. For example, now our BVN is 11 digits. I think our bank account is 10 digits and others like that. So we can use them as patterns or matching words when we are trying to define our sensitive datas. Are we still together, or I'm too fast, or speaking French? Are we still together? I can indicate, so you know. Thank you, thank you. So let me continue. So thank you. So these patterns are detected across Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, Teams, or the Microsoft 365 platform. And as I said, you can always integrate a third-party application also. But for the course of this class, we'll be working with what we have in Microsoft 365, which is our OneDrive, SPO, OneDrive, Teams, Exo, which are the things that we'll be working with. So the detection is actually critical because it feeds directly into our sensitivity label. So we must have our sensitive info types. Don't forget the name. They are types. They are not the label. They are types first. So we have to create the sensitive info types. The types is what that will help the label and the DLP policies. Without a proper classification of our data, then there might be a lot of guesswork and false positive. You can see that I keep mention data classification again and again, because we must know how to classify them. And you just need to understand the concepts, because what is important and highly confidential in your own organization might not be another organization. Imagine a bank um, marking BVN or NIN number as highly confidential information that should be blocked from being said from outside the organization. You know that there will be a lot of false positive because they work with customers' information that include BVN and NIN. You know, when they are sending those information to us, maybe you want to register. So what deems confidential, highly confidential in your own organization might not seem highly confidential in another organization. So we have to understand the concept of the classification so we'll be able to work with it. Else, you might have a lot of mistakes while creating your sensitive info type. So without proper classification, labels, DLP rules become a guesswork, complete guesswork. So it is important that we understand the sensitive information type, so we do not block anything by ourselves before our CEO fires. The CEO fires you for just a mistake that can actually be that shouldn't have happened if you have the right information. So once Purview can see sensitive data clearly, administrators can decide how to protect it in a way that align with regulatory requirements and internal company policies. So I just gave explanation of what we have on our screen. I don't want to pick a lot of English, but you can see what we have on the screen one after the or other. You can see we have the global and local data types. The global data types include credit card numbers, insurance number, and some other information like that. But Nigeria, we don't have, most of us don't have insurance number, HMO, we ask you. So we don't flag things like that here. But our local data, BVN, NIN, and others can actually be flagged, and you can see the importance of data protection also to enable correct classification, feeding the sensitive label and the GLP policy, which I have mentioned earlier. If you are confused, please let me know before we proceed. I am confused, please let me know before we. Yes, Messi. So when you copy password and paste it on Teams, it gets. Yes, for some users that are not IT, but that same there are some, if it's other organization like your IT department should be exempted from that DLP policy, because most times you are not even allowed to share password via email. You send it to people via chat. Once they copy it, you delete it immediately. So your IT department might be exempted from it, which is what I said yesterday when we are talking about language barrier. In language barrier, I can specify those things, like we use file words in Teams and you click on send. This will just trigger your administrator that Messi have used the F word on so user. So they can actually see it. Thank you, Messi, for that. So any question before we proceed? So I will take our silence for none. I'll take silence for none. So when creating our custom sensitive info type, there are things that we will see. So if you have your what is it called? We have your test tenants open. You can go to your sensitive info type, just sit down on it. You see some of the things that I'm explaining there. We are still going to do them practically before the end of this class, but I just want to explain it to us as well. So to start the creation, we all know we need to let's leave the login part. You have to name your sensitive info type, and I always say that you give it a name that goes along to with what the sensitive info type is meant to do, so that if another admin open it, they can also know the reason why you have it there. In a standard organization, you can't even create or make any changes without sending email and taking permission. Maybe change what do they call it? There's one English they call it change requirement and others. You have to go through some process and explain why you'll be doing this configuration. So while other admins are checking also, they can, by the name, they will know what exactly that guy is for. So you have to define the detection pattern, else there will be problem. I mentioned it yesterday. So sorry. So the pattern might include expression, maybe like 11 digits, keywords like bank, verification number, adding, depending on what you needed. As I said again, data classification is very important to reduce false positive and ensure that random numbers are not just mistakenly flagged as BVN or NIN number. So you can also specify the confidence level, which allows systems to be more or less aggressive or strict with the detection. So also, before using any type of production, it is best practice to test. Before you deploy it to production, it is always good to test first. You can always create a group, probably add some, will add some people from your IT team to it while they are doing the test before deploying it to production. As I said yesterday, I have somebody that deployed conditional access, and that conditional access actually logged out everybody in that organization, including the global admins, any form of admin, just mention it. They have to raise support to Microsoft to delete that conditional access before they have access to it. Do you know how many days that takes? Do you know how many lost that the company have incurred doing that? So it is always good you test before you deploy to production. If you have seen a nursing mother before they feed their child with that food, they first put it maybe at the back of their hand to know how hot it is before they put it in the mouth of the child. They don't put it in the mouth of the child first. When the baby now cries, they remove it and put it at the back of their hand. No. Also, so we need to do this test as an IT person before deploying it. So these are the few things on the screen that will be considered while doing those your configuration. So I'm just trying to be fast as much as I can. So the next thing we have here is I just did some examples of things that we can actually use. So the common example in Nigeria are bank numbers, account numbers, which is 10 digits. So we are creating your custom type. The pattern will be alongside those keywords like account number, bank account, so that Purview can identify payments, schedules, vendor list, and some other things that includes payments. So if you want to use staff identification number, you should align with what you have in your organization for it to work. The IDs may not follow our global standard, or which is the default one that we have. So you have to create a custom one for your organization, depending on the kind of staff identification number patterns that you have in your organization. Once you confirm this, then the sensitive info type can become reusable when building a lot of blocks across Purview. You will see that if you go to information protection, you make use of sensitive info. If you go to your DLP, you still make use of your sensitive info. That's why you can see that I'm dwelling on it again and again and again. Everything about Purview, it goes round with sensitive info type when it comes to anything. Most times, in short, 60% of what action that will be carried out on Purview, you need your sensitive info type. That's why I see that I keep dwelling on it again and again, so we can get understanding of this. So you can reuse it. And this localized approach ensure that data protection are not generic, like just a generic, and in our environment is totally different from the foreign environments, which I gave example earlier. So most time there are a lot of false positive when it comes to sensitivity info types. So we need to work on our data classification very well and understand it before we deploy anything. So any question before we go to sensitivity label? Yes, change management, Philip. I was not seeing my screen. Thank you. So any question on sensitivity info types before we go to sensitive labels and publishing? Why is the class dry? That's why I did introduction yesterday, so that when we get to our various, at least before the class today, we should have run through one or two things, not just coming to the class, just hear me speak French. At the end of the day, everybody will go back to their house. I can guarantee you that 0.5% are the only one that will go back to the videos to check. And the 0.5, 0.3 out of the 0.5 is when they have related issues. They will remember we've talked about it before, and they will go back to watch that videos. Any question? You see that all what we explained yesterday as layman are some of the things that we are talking about now. We are just using different language from what was used yesterday. Yeah, D, I'm not sure I can unmute your microphone, but you can drop your question in the chat. You have 1 minute to do so. We are waiting for you.
Yadi, you can speak now. I just enabled your mic. Hello, Yadi. Just unmute your mic and speak.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
me,
can
sir?
see your voice.
Okay.
Yes, we can see your voice.
I want to ask a question regarding the previous slide. You made mention of the practical examples of sensitive information. So among this example you listed, is this example the most common among organizations, or do they have any other ones that organization requires? Just want to know.
These are just random example I pick. You know, as I said, we have non-Nigerians among us, so I don't want to dwell much picking Nigeria things alone. So I just want something that everybody will be able to relate with. That's why I'm just using this. So it is peculiar to different organizations, though there might be some things that might go across some entities, maybe like all banks. CBN give them standard, and there are some rules, lay down rules and regulation that you need to follow, some information that needs to be protected by default. Aside from that now, so the bank themselves might also have other things that they want to protect also, aside from the normal regulatory given to them by CBN. Because if it falls in it, I know the least CBN filed any bank is 150 million naira. If it defaults in anything, that is the list. And I know you want to avoid that at all cost. So it all depends on the organization, but the sample I have here is just a random sample that I want everybody to be able to relate with.
Okay, I understood now. Thanks.
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
So
thank you so much.
Okay. So I'll take that for no another question. So proceed. So overview of sensitivity label. So sensitivity label are majorly used to classify and protect data based on level of sensitivity. So level of sensitivity I'm talking about now is the sensitive info type. So common labels, as I said earlier, when we are classifying our data, public, internal, confidential, highly confidential. So like a memo may be labeled public, a staff payroll or the director's documents could be labeled highly confidential depending on the context. So sensitivity label can apply protection measures such as encryption, access restriction, headers, filters, watermark to those datas, probably email, documents, and others. So they work seamlessly across Microsoft, maybe Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, So the key idea for sensitive labels. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. So the key idea is that protection travels with the data. The protection travels with the data. I know based on what Mercy said, you will see that there are some file in your organization. If you share it, perhaps you're able to copy it to your personal laptops or gadgets now, and you open it, you will see that there are restrictions on it. Some of them will not open. They will tell you access denied. So that is the key major work, that to protect the data while they are in transit and while the user have received them, irrespective of where you have them. Yesterday, I gave us an example. There are some PDF, if we download them online, you can't copy them. Some you can't even download, you can only preview, and you can't copy them. You can, if you try to highlight and copy, it won't copy. So they are protected. So if a label file is copied to a USB drive now or shared externally, the protection remains irrespective of where you take it to. So it is important for us to understand that labels are not only technically controlled, they also communicate expectation to users. When employee sees a file marked confidential HR, they immediately understand that the contents require careful handling. Once you see this guy is confidential, you will know that you handle it with what? With care. So, and that is just a quick review of what a sensitive label is. And I have them explained on the screen also. But don't worry, I might share the slide at the end of the class for whoever that needs them. So any question, proceeding. Any question? Okay, so I want to create a sensitive info type and our sensitive label. They are often created from the information protection type. From the information protection, you can. Hello, can you still hear me? Oh, thank you. So, thank you. So let's continue in a moment. Somebody came knocking. So the configuration include protecting. You see some aside from the name and others that is required, which may, so the configuration include protection setting, which include encryption, so that only members of HR group, only members of IT will have access to it. Maybe virtual markings like watermark, do not share, do not reply, do not do this. Some can even have our names on it. Some can have our names on it. So it all depends. So these virtual clues are particularly effective in our workplace, just to give us understanding of the kind of documents we are working with, how sensitive they are. So administrators are expected, or we as an IT person are expected to think carefully about who need access and understand the condition before we create our sensitivity label. So overly restrictive labels can frustrate users. In short, it can summon you to panel, come and explain why you deploy this and why it's like this, why you deploy this, why it's like this. And meanwhile, overly weak label provide little to no protection as well, which means we must understand what our user wants before we make use of the sensitivity label, or before creating them, we must know what they want. And testing the label in a pilot group before you roll it out is also important. Maybe you can add 1 or 2 users that needs to use it. Probably if it's a director, if the director have a PA, can add the PA, explain to the PA how it works. Then the PA can communicate with the director. If there is need for any change or anything, you can do that at that level before you now deploy it to people. Imagine a director that needs to send out an important information in the middle of the night and is getting blocked by DLP, and they can't reach out to you or reach you, there will be issues and there will be problem as well. So we must consider that also. Please. Yes, I'm still sharing my screen. Maybe can you see my screen? Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen. I think some other people
Okay.
too can see it.
Thank you. So publishing sensitivity
Within, if you
label.
can just drop and join back, you should see it.
So after creating your sensitivity label, they don't just go live immediately like that. You still need to publish them. So publishing them determines who can see and who can use each of the label. As I said earlier, you can create a different label for the HR, another for accounting, create another for audit, depending on their needs. So you can just create group. I believe most of these departments, they have groups, mailing groups that you can. And then I believe while we are talking about exchange, we must have discussed different mailing group that we have. Then, and there should be a clear communication. It is important at when you are trying to publish it. Let them know that will be publishing this at close of business on Friday. In case you discover any behavior like this, like that, you can reach out to us. So, as I said, it is always good to carry our stakeholders along, So, organization where staff have varying levels of digital literacy, short awareness session or internal emails can greatly improve adoption and correct usage. So we should not assume everybody knows. We have to get them informed before deploying it. I know some of us will be looking at it that it's not big deal now. It's not big deal until you go to production environments, you do some of these things, and it lands you into trouble. While even your guy will fold his hand and be looking at you. The guy will fold his hand and be looking at you. We actually discuss it, but this is not what I ask you to do. Have you seen instances like that? Your guy will betray you in front of everybody. So we need to carry our stakeholders along. So this is a real life labeling scenario. So just few examples that we can make do of also, just like we did during the sensitive info type as well. So any question before we proceed to the last part of the slide, then we can now go to creating 1 or 2 things. Any question? Any question before we proceed? Please give me like 2-3 minutes. I'll be back. Okay, thank you. So let's proceed. So the next thing we want to talk about is data loss prevention, DLP. So the first part to talk about so far is information protection. So the next thing we are talking about is DLP, data loss prevention policy. So DLP in Purview is actually designed to prevent inappropriately for sensitive information. Let's do a quick recap now. Let me ask, our sensitive info type is for what? The sensitive info type is for what? The labeling, sensitivity label is for what? I want to know if we are actually together. I'm waiting. If you can't respond, then we'll just end our class there. Everybody will go to our house. Which one is data classification? Which of it? Okay, let me just do with the answer we have. Let's continue. So DLP, as you have said, is designed to prevent sensitive information from being shared inappropriately. So DLP work across Microsoft 365 technologies, that is Exchange, SharePoint, Teams, and others. So in business environments, DLP is particularly useful for preventing the leakage of financial data, customer records, employee information. DLP policy are built using conditions. The conditions are based on our sensitivity information types. You see why I was talking about sensitivity info type the other time, because it's our data classification. So it is the policy are built in using condition often based on the sensitive information types and actions such as blocking, warning, auditing, allow user to release whichever one that suits your organization. DLP is not always for blocking alone, as we think it is. It can be to just trigger some alerts to one user that you are sharing this information with external user. Trend carefully. So it shows policy tips. That's what we call it in those things that show in Outlook. If you want to send email to external user or email comes in from external user, those things are policy tips. Or it will tell you that you are sending this email to maybe 1,000 users plus. All those ones, they are policy tips that warn you about the action and the risks of the behavior that you are about to carry out, So creating DLP policy. So you can decide to use the default template or create a new custom policy to suit your organization, depending on what you want. So you can select location where the policy applies, such as our emails and others. So condition can be defined usually by selecting relevant sensitive information type that you have created previously. Action are configured to determine what happens when the policy is triggered. So you are advised again to first test it before deploying it. So I think we'll stop there for slides. We'll stop there talking about slides for tonight. So this is configuring DLP. So DLP have rule, action, policy tips, alert, incidents, and policy review and improvements in case you need to make any changes. And these are some real life scenarios that we might needed regarding tips. So best practice, just a summary of what we have discussed so far. We've talked about sensitive information type, we've talked about sensitive labels, and we've talked about the LP, which is data loss prevention policy, how the unified data protection and the strategy used to protect our data. So sensitive info types help the system to identify how important a data is, label protect it wherever it goes, irrespective. Don't forget, sensitive information type help the system to identify how important a data is. Sensitive label protect it wherever it goes. And DLP prevents it from being shared inappropriately. You can see that the three of them are doing different things entirely. They are doing different things entirely. So let's just have that at the back of our mind. That was the question I asked a few minutes ago. We only got one answer. So that is that. Okay. That's I don't know if you can still see my screen. Please confirm if you can still see my screen.
No, you stopped sharing, so we can't see your screen.
Let me do entire screen. Let me share this screen. That will make it easier. Okay. Adekunle. So let me see some of the questions we have. In a situation where a user account was removed completely from entry ID, can Purview keep the user data though the account was removed. Yes, so you still get to data lifecycle management. Aisha will be discussing that with you on how to do that. For now we are only talking about how to protect the data. We are not talking about how to keep the data or how to recover the data. Aisha will be discussing that next week with you. Please, does this control applies to guest user in your organization? Yes, there's a way you can do it for guest user as well.
Olajide, you might want to increase the font of your browser. It's quite.
Yeah,
I think you're
yeah.
using like an 80-inch screen, right?
No, now my screen is not as big as that, but probably because it's a curve, it's wide. The width is wider than the length. That is why it's smaller. So, let me. My guy have said I should increase before they will now kick me out of the community. Let me increase it. So, as I said yesterday, in case you are confused of how to reach the Purview admin center, you can always go to admin.microsoft.com, which is the admin center for Microsoft 365. And from there, you can navigate to other admin center. And you can also do cmd.ms if that is what you would like to do. That shows you all admin center, all Microsoft admin centers, and you can navigate to whichever one you are going. So for us, we'll be working with Purview. So I think I have it open already. And for Mercy, where we started from earlier, the reason why I did not use my test tenants, if we look at the settings on my test tenants, I check all my test tenants, you can see that there is no endpoint here where we can block this URL. So that was the reason I used a production environment for you to see. So let's start with information protection. So we are starting with information protection. Do you have anybody that have their tenants open? I will zoom it. Mercy, I will zoom it. Do you have anybody that have their tenants open that can share their screen so we can walk through it together, create the sensitive info type, create the sensitivity label, and publish the label? I want somebody to share their screen. We'll do it together. You can you can configure it to all employees, and you can specify maybe some set of group or staffs that you want it to be used for. But before you do that, don't forget, first reproduce it. Don't deploy to everybody yet. You might deploy to few users first and see the outcome, make any changes that needs to be made before you deploy to all users. So we would like to share their screen, open your admin center, and like to share a screen so we can work. Nobody wants to share their screen. Let me zoom this guy first.
Okay, I think Yadi has volunteered. So
Okay, so you can just
let me allow you.
You can give him access. Yeah.
Let
me stop sharing.
All right, Yadi, you should be able to share and unmute your mic as well. Please go ahead. Oh, so this is the face. Yadi, we can see you.
We caught him. Don't worry, we
What?
caught him already.
So I don't know where I should click to share the screen, or I'm just a bit confused. Sorry.
All right. So let me take a snapshot of my screen and maybe direct you. But at the top where you have the buttons, where you have camera, mic, share, can you see the share?
Okay, yes, I see.
Yes, you just click
Thank
on
you.
that. You're welcome.
I don't know why I clicked it already. It's delaying to share.
That is your network. Are you using glue?
No. Okay. Yeah. Done.
Well, I'm not okay. I think he's loading.
Yeah. Can you see the signal?
Your screen is blank at my end. I don't know for others. Yeah, I think he's up now.
Okay. Okay. Here is my purview.
So you can go to the admin center. I can't see your purview yet. I'm seeing your teams.
No. This is purview. I mean, purview.
Is that right? There's a lag, or you are not in purview? What I'm seeing is your teams.
Yeah. Can you see it now,
Purview is
sir?
showing.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Thank you, sir.
They said you can see purview. Me, I can't see purview.
Can you see it?
Purview is open. Yes, I can see it now. So, based on what we've discussed so far, so the first thing we'll be creating is the sensitive info type. Don't forget, we need to classify our data first, which is the first thing we need to do before creating the sensitive label and publishing it. So you can click on solutions.
I've done that.
It's my screen that is lagging, but I'm not seeing solutions yet. Under solutions, just click on information protection.
Hello, sir.
The screen is lagging. Are you sure it's my side? I've not seen the information protection yet. So
So
now
I
I'm just
can
seeing
I can see
solutions.
it.
Okay. This is DLP here. Okay. Information protection. Huh? This is it here.
Yes, information protection. You just click on it. Since others said you can see it, probably it's my own network. Don't worry. I'll tell you what to do. No worries. So under policies, you should see sensitive info types.
Yeah. Under
Have you seen it?
policy. Yeah. Okay. This is label. No. Label publishing policy. Sensitive info type.
Yes. This is sensitive info type.
Under the information protection. Huh?
Under classifiers.
Okay.
You click information protection,
Yeah, I've seen
classifiers.
it. Yeah. Sensitive info type. I've clicked on it.
Yes, please. So you can now create sensitive info type. If you open it, you see the default ones that I was talking about earlier. You see some what is it called? Routing number, credential type, medical terms and condition, and some other ones like that, which are the built-in ones. You see Australia, this one, US, this, UK, this, that, but you not see Nigeria, this or that. So, which is one of the reasons why we have to create our own custom sensitive info type. You will see UAE, see South Africa, see Poland, see Japanese, see a lot of countries, but I'm not sure I've seen Nigeria before there. So you can do create sensitive info type. So you can give it a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can give it a name. So once you give it any name of your choice, you can click on next. I'm not seeing your screen. I'm not on your screen. Let me just use I'm not on your screen.
Can anyone see? Can you see my screen now?
I can see it, Yadi. I see you typing Yadi dash, so I think I might be just from.
Okay. I've done giving it a name.
Then you can click on next once you are done giving it a name. Go back to description. Go back to description. Copy the name and paste in your description. Or have other description that you wants to give it. You can do so.
Done.
So create pattern.
Okay.
We said it uses pattern. You can see the confidence level.
Yeah.
So primary elements. So the confidence level is high, medium, and low. So if it's high, to prompt everybody, heaven and earth, in your tenant that Yadi is trying to watch adult movie using his official system to prompt everybody. Peter said he can't see. Peter, you can drop a screen. You are seeing. So let's leave it at high confidence.
Okay, I should put it on high confidence. Okay.
Yes. So now primary elements. Just click primary elements.
Should I select anyone?
So let's use a word list.
Okay.
Keyword list. That should be the second option, if I'm correct. So you can give it name.
I don't know. You can suggest a name for me, sir.
That's what I'm saying. Vulgar words, foul words, anything you want to call it.
Come again.
Just, or you can put text. You can put text.
Can it be multiple, any words at all?
Yes, any words. You can use multiple words. Other the words that needs to be used. So you just type the word, comma, type the next one, comma, type the next one, comma. No, not under the ID. I mean under the keywords, that is case insensitivity. The ID is just to give it a name.
Okay,
Then
under
after
this
giving it
case
the
sensitive.
name,
Okay.
yes,
Done.
okay. I'm not sure we need that. But you can just copy and paste it out. The name, you've not given it an ID now. That's why it's not giving us name. ID, yeah.
Okay.
He said you use test, 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 not text, test. Yes. Then you can click on done. So from what we have here, the first one is what is being used most of the time. Don't worry, you don't need to open again. Is what is being used most of the time, which means it should not be case sensitive. Case sensitive means it must be word for words for it to trigger it. So you can click on, we are not doing any other supporting elements or additional check for this, for the big, for this class. Maybe some other time we are doing advanced level, then you can pick other things. You can click on create. So you can click on next. And you can add multiple pattern though if you wish to. Then next. And click on create. Done. So what is the next thing? What is the next thing based on our discussion so far?
The next thing I suggest maybe it will be EDM classifiers.
Do we talk about EDM? If I give you straight blow from here, if I give you uppercut,
I'm sorry, sir.
no. What's the next thing? We discussed three things under information protection before we went to, which I said there are things that needs to be done. The first one is creating info types. Then what's the next one?
The next one will be the labeling.
Yeah, sensitivity label. So you can go to the
Yeah.
labeling.
Okay. So this is
Aisha,
sensitive.
thank you.
This is sensitive
Yes.
label. Okay.
This time around, I'll decide to mute. So I'll watch and others decide options to choose. So you can click on
Should it be group or label?
label. So over to you. Decide. I'll be looking.
Yeah, this protection is immediately enforced. Okay, let me say uh, uh, credit card. Okay. Yeah, so I'll also display the name. I'll just copy it also and paste it here. So the description, I don't need the description. Yes.
You see the asterisk sign there? It means you need it. You can see the
Yeah.
asterisk sign.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Describe the user. Okay. The text. Any credit. I don't just know what to write, so I'll just copy it and paste same thing as well.
You can leave other ones without asterisk because of
Okay.
our time. Just
Okay. So I'll click on next, sir.
yes, please.
Yeah. Define the scope of this level. So what should I do here? I'm confused.
You can. What is written there is in English, and
Yeah.
I've explained all this, so
Okay.
you should be able to decide.
Label can be applied to data asset and containers.
You can ask others. You can ask others. Check the chat also. Let's just see their opinion. I just want to know if you guys actually understood what we discussed.
Hey, my colleagues, what should I add here?
Hmm? Who's this? Don't worry, just continue.
Okay. Okay. I will say label message. I will just say not. I will remove the meeting and leave the email and the file and other assets. Then
For the file, you can see what is the label under the files.
yeah, label files and data assets in Microsoft include Power BI. Okay, I will just click on next.
Okay, you can proceed.
Then choose protection settings for the types of item you selected. Who can access the view? Okay, I can say I'll click on control who can access the view. Okay. Then I will click on next. So here, assign permission. Then I can assign a permission here who can be able to access it. Okay. Always allow offline access. Okay. Never. User access to content. Okay. Then I can assign permission, maybe find someone, assign, no, add group.
That person that is raising his or her, you can drop your question in the chat box.
So I don't know what to do here. I'm confused.
He gave you option now to select. Go back to the assign permission.
Okay. Here, assign permission.
No, down. Assign permission to specific users and group.
Okay.
So it gives you 4 options. So you have to select from the 4 options. Once you click on the plus sign, then you can click on save. You can only pick one option. You can't pick more than one. Since you select the first one.
I'll add the authenticated user.
The first one, you've said all users, so there's no point picking any authenticated users again.
So wait, let me go back.
Don't worry, no, it's fine. Since it's just test, it's fine.
Okay. I'll click on next now.
No, you can scroll down. There are still other options. Go back. You are rushing us. See, use dynamic watermark, use double key encryption. You can use double key encryption. For double key encryption, there are some things you need to do in Azure to do that. So you can use dynamic watermark.
Okay. Okay, sir. Use dynamic watermark.
Scroll down. Just scroll down.
Okay.
Scroll down.
Okay.
So you can decide to customize your watermark. That is to show whatever, like confidential, this thing. But if you don't specify anything, it will just show the person's name on the document. So you can click on next.
Okay.
You can always do this at your own convenience. We are working with time. I just want us to see how it looks, how the configuration looks. So that's why I said we should do it yourself. So we have auto labeling. If you enable this auto labeling now, we will have to create a rule. So any files, email, or chats that meet the condition of that rule, it will automatically trigger it. You get it. Just click on it so people can see what we are talking about. You can see it will ask you to specify a condition. Click on condition, add condition. Contents.
Okay.
Then click on add. Click on add, then you can bring in our sensitive info type. Yeah.
Am I doing the correct thing, sir?
Yeah, the one we created now, the test we created is what you should use. Just search. Type the name at the top in that search box. And it's
No.
if you can't find it, then you have to scroll down. Just scroll down. Why?
Okay, here is it. This is it.
Once you see it, just check it and click on add.
Okay, sir.
You can scroll down. Just scroll down. No. Scroll down.
Okay.
Can you see the option is giving us? That to take precedence. And you can also say you should display a policy tips to the user. Those things, as I said earlier, that shows in Outlook, to tell you you're sending this email to external users for people that work with organizations very well. You see all those tips one after the other when you are sending email. So you can decide to write it the tips also, which is the last column we have at the bottom. If you want to add tips for the user, then you can click on next.
Okay, sir.
You can click on next. So define protection settings for group and site. You don't want to define, you just click next. Okay, we can create a label.
Wait, I'm coming.
Yeah, reading it. Okay. I'm not sure you have access to do so.
No, I don't have access, sir.
Yeah. So they can click on next, don't worry. Create label. You know, I mentioned it yesterday, irrespective of the license you will have access to Purview, but the features that will be available to you will be limited.
Oh,
Microsoft Exchange Management, Unified Policy, RMS inactive for tenants, exception.
Yeah, sorry, hold on, guys. I hope this is a test tenant and not a production tenant, Yadi.
no, this is just a test tenant, sir.
If it was production,
Okay.
bro, would have ended the call.
No, it's just a test.
I will just leave the call and pretend we did not have this call today.
No,
Before they come
there was
after
no
me.
disclaimer. So police is coming for everybody. But I'll just claim I was the moderator and not the speaker. Shegun, your mic is enabled. You can unmute your mic.
He said you have to
sorry,
enable
so I was going to
RMS.
speak.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, please, can you go back? Can you click OK and go back? Like
Okay, sir.
So on this, we had a first we had like a similar buttons because in my office, every document, like as you categorize it, like Microsoft's Office, for instance, at the end of the day, when you whatever sensitivity you select will be labeled underneath. I think there was an option to check that earlier, but we didn't select any button yet. So I don't know if that was actually part of the was compulsory for so that when you see the document by default, you can determine the level of sensitivity on it. So that was actually what I wanted to call his attention to. But I don't know if that was also captured as part of the process.
No, we did that. So instead of doing it manually, that's why we did auto labeling. Our auto labeling will pick this configuration from the sensitivity label that we created earlier. So whatever we have in that configuration will determine what will happen to all the documents now.
Okay. So you don't have to select.
So if we want the manual one, yes. If we want the manual one, then we'll go back. Yeah, can you just go back? I think 2 steps backward.
Okay, sir. Should I go back one more?
Yes, where we have our auto labeling.
Here, right?
I have gone more than expected.
No,
It's not
should I
here.
go?
Can you
It's
go
not
forward?
here. Okay, sir. Here?
No, you need to go forward. That's why I said next.
Okay.
Is it here? No. You can click on next. Because after we assign permission. I will click on next. I'm still seeing access control. Yes.
I'm in auto labeling now.
No, this yes, this is where we specify it. You can see that yeah, we have to go to our sensitivity label. It would tune off this auto labeling now. It will go to the manual one. You don't have to do it automatically. Mr. Shegun, I don't know if he gets the configuration we did now compared to what you
Yes.
have in your office.
Or yes, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. So it is unfortunate that we'll not be able to save this configuration because you don't have RMS active. So that is an assignment for you to go and work on your tenants. Yeah, able the RMS templates, you run some PowerShell to do that.
RMS, enable RMS templates. Okay.
Okay. That's in how do we test it has been implemented. Assuming we are able to create it, then we still need to publish the label. After publishing it, it takes 24 hours to 72 hours, depending on the size of your. So it's not something that propagates immediately. For some tenants, if we are few, it can propagate immediately. But on Microsoft documentation, they give us 24 hours to 72 hours. That is a day to 24 3 days for it to populate. What is the full meaning of RMS and what is the function? My brother. Oh yeah, you have your Google. Check it. Yadi, you can click on cancel. Let's go to DLP. You have just 15 minutes left. You can save it. Just click on cancel. We have it by the right bottom of your screen. So you have to go and enable RMS first. Then you can come back here and so you can go back to solution. You go back to solution, then you see data loss prevention policy. Solutions.
DLP. Data loss prevention. DLP.
Yeah. So let's go to policies.
Okay.
Mr. Shegun, you're asking me to repeat. What exactly am I repeating? You can go ahead, just do on create policy. Are you sure this is a test now? This one I'm seeing all staff credit card protection.
No, it's my test tenant, sir.
Nah, no deal. In short, we've not met before. We've not seen each other before.
No, don't worry.
This is my second time asking as a second authentication, second factor authentication. Are you sure this is not the production tenant?
This is my just test tenant I use because during this class I've been following this class and they have been showing us some. There's one certain time we come across this topic, Purview and Defender. So maybe doing the earlier was it the March, something like that. So I was using it as a test running. So all this you are seeing are just tests.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I believe you, bro, but I'm not going down with you anyways. You can continue.
Okay. I should click on create policy.
Yeah, so you do enterprise applications and devices.
Okay.
Two door countries, select location. Let's continue.
I should choose
No. Let's just continue. Don't worry.
any country.
Since we don't have, yes, we don't really have a condition or a term we are working with. So let's just leave our country. We are using all categories also.
Okay.
You can just click out. Just click out and click on next.
Okay. I shouldn't select any category.
Yes, just click on next. I give it name custom policy one in case there is a custom policy in existence because it will validate it before we move. Yeah, next.
Okay.
So assign admin unit. From the description, you should know what this is meant for. You can leave the full directory if you want to. I'm not sure your license even give you that opportunity. You can see if 5 license is required. My brother, you don't have it. Click on next. Your tenant have humbled you. So this place, there are some options that don't go together hand in hand. If you scroll down, can you scroll down?
Okay.
If you click on the Microsoft 365 Copilot and Copilot chat, you see every other one will uncheck automatically, which means you can use one DLP for both Copilot and other workloads. You have to separate them. Can you click on the Copilot so others can see what I'm talking about? Can you see? Which means you can do Copilot on other workload. But if you uncheck Copilot now, other option will be available for you. Uncheck it. You can see others option are available. So let's select those options again, then we'll click on next.
Okay. So
Why so please? The configurations are different. If you click on the Copilot and click on other workload, the features that are available for the configurations are actually different. You know, if you are protecting prompts from chats, it's different from when you are protecting normal prompts from Teams chats. You can, if you have your tenants, you can also go through those things yourself. All these ones we are doing is just for basic knowledge. It's not for in-depth knowledge. If you want to do in-depth knowledge, I said from the beginning, get your hand dirty. There's a reason why it's called test tenants. It's not a production environment. So let's select the workloads, the locations, Exchange, SPO, OneDrive, Teams, devices, instances, on-prem respiratory. Sorry, repositories. Yes, is it? Then next. Yep, next. So create a customized, yes, next. You have to create rules. You can click on next. So create rules. You need to create rules now.
Okay. Customize rules.
Yes, this is where our DLP will be coming in. Sorry, our sensitivity info type. You can give it a name. If you look at this, you will see that it's similar with when we get to the auto labeling part. You remember?
Yeah.
So that's why I said most of what you'll be working with in your data protection, you need your sensitivity info type. So while creating it, you need to be intentional. So add condition. Let's do content contains.
Wait, I'm coming.
No, it's fine. If you choose file downloaded, then you still have to select condition. Yep.
Can I go? Let me go
Add
back.
sensitivity. Whichever one wants to do. You have to click on delete. Can you see the delete by the left?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Just go. Yeah. Yeah. Add condition. Contains. Yep. Add. Can you come down to add?
Yeah. In this add condition, right?
No, add. No, under the add, not add condition. Add. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I should click on the add.
Yes.
Okay.
Sensitive info type. Yep. If you click on the other options too, it will still take you to sensitive info type. So we can go to our sensitive info type. If you don't remember the name, you have to scroll down again, just the way you did previously. Add. So exceptions can go down to exceptions and other configuration. So you can select depending on what you want.
Apply this rule to content matches.
Can add exception. Which license do you have? Is it business basic?
Business basic.
Okay, add actions. Just go to the next one. We can see why we have a lot of restrictions. Actions.
Okay. Restrict access.
So you can see, depending on anyone you want, just choose.
Audit or restrict activity on devices. Content. I will choose this one. User notification to inform your user and educate them properly.
Override.
Okay, override. Okay.
You can't select it now. Yeah. Your license just shame you this night.
No, this one, this notification, is it okay as I click enable?
You can enable it if you want to.
Okay.
The goal is just for us to understand, to make sure that everybody understands what you are doing. So normally you are expected to give allow over. That is, if the user gives a business justification, then they should be able to override it. That is automatically without having you to do it for them. But I think based on your license, we don't have that option. So you can just scroll. You can scroll down. Use sovereignty level. Is there another thing that we needed here? Alert, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure we do. You can click on save.
Okay.
Out if it will save as well. For the other one, the RMS templates, you won't be able to enable it for business basic if the license you have is business basic.
So I've
So
done
next,
saving it.
Yes, you know what is we created the rule. So you can click on next now.
Okay.
Mode. Don't run. Leave the policy turn off. The last option. You are not running it.
No. Should
turn off.
leave the should I turn it
Leave
off?
the policy turn off. Yes, turn it off.
Okay.
Because this one, Adekunle and I have been doubting his production or testing as soon off. Yeah. Then you can click on next. Finish. Submit. Finally, we're able to create DLP. Done. Can you scroll now? Where's our DLP? Okay,
This
I've
is
seen it. Yeah. So you will see that in all we do, we still go back to our sensitive info type in everything we do, which is our data classification. So we'll stop there for tonight. Next week, Aisha will continue from there, talk about data retention and others that we showed us in the slide that is under data lifecycle management, data governance. So any question before we call it a day? Any question? It's 10 p.m. already. Sure, you can go ahead, please.
Sir. Hello, sir.
And we see you can speak.
Okay, there is something I did previously. So I think it's under DLP. Okay. So I just want to, I just forgot how I was able to achieve it, and I want to know if I can retrieve it back. But I like what I did though. As in, what I did was, if I send a data to an external body, the person cannot be able to download that file. The file will not even show. He will see the message, but once you open the file will be blank. And another one is, if I copied for example, in my lab now, if I copied anything from my lab and paste it on my WhatsApp, for example, it will show, it will give a notice that a protection, something like that. So it will be blank as well. So I don't know if it's sensitive label. So I don't know.
Yeah, it should be sensitive label. It should be sensitive label that you did that. You just have to check your tenants. Sensitive label, and you can also check this your custom DLP that you have here. This DLP 001 protection sensitive PII. Can check the configuration and see what you have in it. So it will be within data loss prevention and information protection. There, it soon go outside of that place.
All right. Good evening. Good evening.
With you, check.
All right.
You can go ahead,
So
please.
so is it possible that, let's say you delete an account from Enter ID and you removed it from the recycle bin as well? If you set up maybe Microsoft Purview configuration for anything, can you still recover maybe maybe emails, OneDrive account, and some similar stuff like that if you add Purview setup, even though you delete it from Enter ID?
Um, Drive. If you have a retention policy, they call it archived OneDrive. The entity permanently deleted where in the cloud. I don't want to use complex English now. So for mailbox, we have soft deleted and inactive. If the mailbox is no longer in soft deleted, it will be in. You might not be able to recover the mailbox, but you can recover the contents of the mailbox. So depending on the configuration you have in your environment, I think that will be the parts that will be discussed by Aisha. Data, just click on solution, you see data lifecycle management. So under that data lifecycle management, you can do those ones. I think somebody asked that question earlier as well.
Yeah, is it, sir?
Yeah, so you can go to policy.
Okay.
Yeah, retention policy. Retention policies, yeah. You don't even have one created. So from here, you can create a retention policy that will keep, depending on, can say 7 years, you can tell keep it forever, depending on what you want. So it will hold those information, including your team's chart and others. So last question, we are beyond our time before Mr. Adekunle will not allow me to come next time. Somebody is raising, so who's this person? AE, who is this AE?
Hello, good evening. Thank
Good
you for
evening.
the privilege. I appreciate all the trainings from inception. My question is, so literally, I'll be requesting for more material so that on my own I can further advance the knowledge I've garnered from all the sections so far. I'm not based in Nigeria. When I used to be in Nigeria, we used to do all these things together, but abroad you specialize in a specific area and you grow there, if you understand what I mean. In Nigeria, we did everything, but here, if you are doing knowledge management, purview, compliance, you just specialize in all of this. Now, I didn't get to do all of this while in Nigeria. I mean, the purview bit of things and all of that, because it wasn't really prominent as it is now about 10, 12 years ago. So please, what I'm asking for are resources for people like us that like to develop ourselves further in all these new areas that are just coming up. Thank you.
Welcome. So, firstly, I first want to disagree with what you said. In Nigeria also we specialize. The reason why we think we don't specialize is I do tell people that, especially if we are coming to IT, start with help desk, and help desk or IT service desk is not a career path. It's just for you to have a background knowledge of how everything works in IT. I'm a system admin. I do a lot of cybersecurity, a lot, because today you see a vulnerability that you need to, maybe a patch that you need to deploy, or there are vulnerability with Teams, or there are vulnerability with OneDrive, and there are some things, configuration you need to be put in place. You go, you do it, you do that. Imagine I don't have a background knowledge of all those things, then you have issues. So irrespective of any part of the IT that you want to specialize, you still always need others. If you are in cybersecurity, you need good knowledge of networking, and every other thing needed in a Purview, Defender. You actually work with it. Even if you are not using Microsoft, we are using other services, you still see that what you are doing is still related to what we have in Microsoft. They might give it different name, or it might be done some other ways, but at the end of the day, you still get the same result. So if you want to specialize, I used to tell people, don't forget the power of community. I believe wherever you are in abroad, there is still Microsoft community there that you can join. And if you have a career path already that you selected, there's a lot of Microsoft documentation online. There's a lot of videos um, here and there on YouTube that you can actually make do of. And we have a lot of mentors there. You can go to their LinkedIn page, you can go to their, what is it called, YouTube page Ige, Joseph, Afenso, the career paths that you have selected. I pray also that God help you as well. God inputs in everything as well. So you can select a career path, but have a community. Community helps a lot. Something that you might run into how to go about it. You can reach out to a community, drop the whatever the problem is, describe it. You can see people that will jump on call with you to help you out with it. So, and if you need this most of these things that we talk about, there is a Microsoft documentation for it, but we can't be going through documentation word for word. We'll get bored. That's why we just pick necessary things that we needed out of it, and that's it. I don't know if I answered your question. My boss, back to you. Yadi, you can stop sharing venerable bishops, Pastor Adekunle, Sarumi. Back to you, sir.
That was quite flattering. Please, can we share reactions as we appreciate our speaker, Mr. Olajide Ige? Thank you so much for this session. I think I even liked the version we went with by sharing screens and then walking through one of the members' screen. I think it's a very nice thing to do. I think it's first of its kind, though. I don't think we've had anyone do that throughout the program. It's a good one. So, guys, if you want me to bring him back, or if you want us to bring him back, let me know. If he wasn't sounding like a disciplinarian, if you want us to bring him back, you can just let us know in the feedback. But I think it was a very nice session. If you agree with me, thank you so much, Olajide. All right, guys. So, we should bring him back, Peter. Peter. Okay, okay. You know, before we could get him to agree to this time, okay. I don't want to expose him, but he's a very busy man. But I'll not expose him. I'll keep my mouth shut. All right. Thank you so much, Olajide. Thank you guys also for being a very, very great audience and for engaging. Because as you know, you already mentioned that the whole essence of the mentorship program is not just to talk and talk. That's why you find that for everyone that has come, they would talk and do. So we talk and then we show you how it's done in either a demo environment or a live environment, because the essence is for you to grab the knowledge. It's there on the web. It's if you are not joining this program, you could as well just take your time to surf the internet and find all these things. But the essence why you are joining is so that you can have a human feel and then someone explain real life scenarios. And as you can see, most of what he has mentioned are real life scenarios that are even particular to our region, say maybe like Nigeria or other regions. So thank you once again. Let's appreciate him one more time again. Olajide, someone is already requesting for your slides. I already dropped everyone's the mentors LinkedIn ID and everything, so you can always reach out to our mentors one-on-one. And because I said they are very busy guys, please, when you are reaching out, go straight to the point to some of these people, so it doesn't look like they are airing you or something. Please go straight to the point and reach out to them as much as you can. And I'm sure they can always provide support where needed.